So, how to show intent is one of the biggest problems that men face in the dating market. And this is after you have approached and started a conversation. Probably within the first minute, you have to start showing intent. Why? Because you don't want to waste your time if they're not interested at all. And also, you don't want to waste your time too. Okay? So the first thing that we need to look at is this one here, compliment. And actually what I should put next to it is make it specific. There you go, make it specific. Okay, so don't do the general ones like, oh, you look amazing and things like that. Do the, oh, that color suits you, or that kind of style looks great, etc. and things like that, because if you make it specific, it's a little bit more intent. You're noticing certain things about them, and they can obviously relate to it being them, right? If you said you are pretty, that could relate to so many other people, but saying that you have a very unique style, it's very summary, is more specific for that person in that moment. So that is important. Okay, and make sure that you actually do compliment as well, because that is a very indirect way to show intent. And we want to keep it indirect and subtle as possible, but it has to be done. Or subtle enough so it's not too obvious, because if it's too obvious, then it's too try hard, and that is unattractive. The second one, which is also a very, very big one, and which can also help to find out if they have a boyfriend or husband, is you create a scenario. So what I mean by that is kind of like, how can we write it? Like a role play. So you create this scenario, for example, of um, like if she says something um, that you like she also likes pizza. She'd be like, okay, cool. We can have pizza at our wedding. Okay, so it's kind of over the top, but it's a subtle indication of where you want things to go. Now, obviously, it's not necessarily because it's the first time that you see them, but it kind of puts in the mind certain things about what you expect from the conversation. Um, Same with that as well. I mean, if they're under, let's say, 25, or they look under 25, you can always ask if they are married. Are you married? Normally they'll say no at this age. So like, they'll say no, and you can just be like, okay, cool, good. Or if you really want to joke around and test it, you could also say like, oh, you're not my type then. Okay, if they say yes, and they'll be like, what? And you'll be like, and then you can just say, no, I'm joking. Or you can carry on with that as well. Either way, you're trying to find out subtly if it's worth your time to stay or not. Also, with this kind of thing too, joking about getting married, weddings, and things, if they really aren't into you, they will tell you, like, no. If they are, or they're open to it, they'll laugh along and play along with it. And finally, the last one is to be direct and forward, which basically means that after you've built a little bit of communication, maybe a couple of minutes, or until you feel that it's going well, you need to be direct in that moment and forward and say, listen, you seem like a good person or a nice person. I'm just about to go and do whatever, but let's exchange numbers and we can go and get a drink sometime. It's better to say it in that moment instead of saying let's exchange numbers and that's it. Because if you give a plan or a rough idea of a plan, then at least both of you have it in mind what the reason is for the number. And that's it. So if you do 1, 2, and 3, you'll be able to show intent and get the results that you want. Cool. See you next time.